everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger, here with my new Empowered Moments video for the week of Monday, January 23rd through Sunday, January 29th, 2023. We're almost at the end of the first month. I can't believe it. So for this week's Empowered Moments video, we're going to be using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from a brand new deck that I just literally opened up yesterday, and I smudged it and blessed it and infused it with wonderful special intentions, so it's all ready to go. It's called the Spell Casting Oracle Cards, and this one has a couple of authors, Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Meikle-John Free. So we're gonna see what those special messages are, and I just have to show you the backs of the cards because they're, when I open the deck, it's just, they're so beautiful. Isn't that beautiful and colorful? All right, so let's go ahead and do an empowered moment before we look at our stones of choice. This week comes after a new moon that we had in Aquarius last Saturday, or this past Saturday. And then this past Sunday, the day after the new moon in Aquarius, Uranus, the Great Awakener, the planet that actually rules Aquarius, went back to direct motion. This week, it's a little bit calmer energies, but one thing that stands out is that we have Venus, the planet that rules relationships and values and money, personal resources, how we feel about ourselves, all sorts of partnerships, business included, friendship, family, etc. She's moving out of Aquarius this week, and she's moving into unconditionally loving, compassionate, artistic, creative Pisces. So for the next little while, actually, she is going to be in Pisces until February 20th. So for the next little while, we have that influence going on. So if we'll just close our eyes, take a deep breath, relax your body, clear your mind of all thoughts. Center yourself in the present moment, the here and now. Visualizing golden white light all around you. This is the golden white light of unconditional love and guidance, protection and healing. Golden white light of God, source, energy, universe, great spirit, all that is. Let's take a deep breath and breathe that in deeply into every cell of our bodies. And as you exhale, let go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. Let's focus on the idea, the energy, the intention of Venus, the planet of relationships and personal resources, and our sense of self-worth, how we value ourselves, shifting into that unconditional love sign of Pisces, last sign of the zodiac, sign that rules the spiritual realm, psychic perceptions and abilities, healing, the sign that rules artistic and creative expression, the sign that is all about merging with the oneness of all that is. And as you focus on that Piscean energy, you can get a feel of what Venus in Pisces is going to be all about. She's going to be soft and gentle, feminine and nurturing, sending her unconditional love from her heart chakra out to all of the world, not just her personal relationships, but out to all of humanity. The divine feminine in her heart chakra, sending out that love and compassion and healing energy to everyone, including herself. So we're going to be gentle with ourselves, nurturing with ourselves, loving towards ourselves, accepting towards ourselves, with Venus being in that sign that rules the spiritual realm, the magic, the miracles, that rules blessings. Venus is a planet of blessings, and coupled with Pisces and with faith and trust, it can bring many blessings into our lives. Let's take a deep breath and breathe in that intention into every cell of our bodies. And as you exhale, and when you're ready and in your own time, you can open your eyes, returning to this time and place. And let's get ready to look at our stones of choice for this week. So I had the opportunity to meet a lovely group of women. I think it was this past Monday. Not that that makes any sense to you as to when I'm recording this, but I met this wonderful group of women at a Reiki share, and thereafter, after that was over with, I was guided to check out this new metaphysical store that was just around the corner. I didn't even know about it, but somebody at the Reiki share told me about it. So I went to check it out. We got 3 brand new stones, and these are stones that I don't think I've ever owned before. So the first one is called Fire Quartz. You can see that it has that reddish hue in it. So Fire Quartz. This one helps with vital energy. It ignites motivation and enthusiasm to take action, right? Helps us to take action. It gives us courage and willpower, and of course, it involves the fire element, and the fire element is all about inspiration and passion and energy and vitality, right? So that is Fire Quartz. Your second stone of choice. Okay. This is a Shiva Lingam. Now, usually we see Shiva Lingams as an oval, a large oval. Now this one I found as a small piece. Actually, it's very wrappable. All these stones actually are probably going to end up being wrapped into special intention pendants soon. But the Shiva Lingam is a symbol of the Hindu god Shiva. It represents both male and female, or masculine and feminine. It enhances inner transformation. And then our last stone of choice. This one is called Vesuvianite. Doesn't it sound like Venus, right? Vesuvianite. And I believe when I was looking up the meaning, it was talking about coming from Mount Vesuvius in Italy. But this one aligns the will with the heart, right? Great for Venetian Vesuvianite energy. It aligns the will with the heart, bringing wholeness and integrity. And this one also helps one to find their true path. Perfect for Venus going into Pisces this week, right? All right, so again, our stones of choice are going to be the Fire Quartz. Fire Quartz. Let's put that aside. Then we have the Shiva Lingam. And then we have the Vesuvianite. Did I say that right? Vesuvianite, yes. Okay, well, that matches my outfit. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at or talk about the astrological transits of significance this week. So as I mentioned, we had a new moon last Saturday at 2 degrees, or maybe it was 1 degree of Aquarius. So the sun and the moon were together, initiating a new cycle of Aquarian energy, which is all about the humanitarian ideals and coming together with people of like mind. And then, as I mentioned, this past Sunday, Uranus, the great awakener, the planet who is the revolutionary and brings about freedom, liberation, sudden unexpected shifts in energy. It's a very electrical energy with Uranus. So You may have noticed that all last week as it was slowing down, getting ready to turn direct, which it did this past Sunday. You still might be feeling some of that electrical energy, sleeplessness, technology issues. I think I talked about that probably in last week's video. So on Tuesday, the 24th of this week, of course, the sun is now in Aquarius, right, for the next month. So on Tuesday, the 24th, we have the sun in Aquarius, and it's in a positive sextile to Jupiter, the great benefic, the planet of great blessings, the planet of expansion in Aries, fire sign Aries, which is expanding our confidence, expanding our light within humanitarian efforts, expanding our uniqueness and eccentricity. The sextile is a positive aspect of opportunity. So there is an opportunity here to shine our light and be intellectual and be intuitive and be, again, unusual or different from the norm. And Jupiter is about our belief systems as well. So check out your belief systems when it comes to your sense of self, your individuality, and how you're projecting out in the world. And also look for opportunities for abundance and prosperity, and not just monetarily, but in any form of blessing, because Jupiter, again, rules prosperity, abundance, opportunities, blessings. And connecting with the sun can shine its light upon that. So look for the opportunity and then take action on whatever comes in that may look like something beneficial. On Thursday, the 26th, is when Venus moves into Pisces. She's in Pisces until February 20th. Not quite a full month, but almost. And so we already kind of talked about what Venus in Pisces was going to be about in our empowered moment, right? She's going to be unconditionally loving and compassionate and creative and artistic and flowing and all of those spiritual keywords that go along with Pisces, right? She's just gonna, it's kind of a romantic sort of placement, right? With Venus being about love and relationships. So she's romanticizing the love and relationships. Now, she might not have good boundaries, you know, Pisces sometimes lacks boundaries, and they really kind of get into this fantasy-like dream state. So this is really good, again, for creative self-expression. Not necessarily so good for money or finances unless you are putting your energy into some sort of new artistic or creative project that you're hoping will create some sort of financial abundance for you. Then it's going to be okay. Otherwise, Venus and Pisces can be like money flowing through your fingers like water. It's like all of a sudden, where did my money go? What did I spend it on? You know, that's kind of Venus and Pisces, because she sees something beautiful or sees something creative, and she just kind of goes with her spiritual feeling on purchasing that item. Again, relationships, if you're in love, this is a really kind of romantic love, fantasy love kind of placement. Again, there can be some lack of boundary issues. This can be great for, if you're not in a relationship, to visualize what that relationship that you would desire to bring in would look like. So visualize it, maybe make a vision board about it. Maybe you'll have some dreams about it. So definitely just pay attention to that. Just be careful not to wear rose-colored glasses when it comes to any kind of relationship, in business and friendship and family. You know, we just want to try to see with clarity. It's a little difficult with Venus and Pisces. If you're seeing the best, that's great, but that may also lead to seeing an illusion. And so it's good if you're making important decisions about either money and finances or relationships and partnerships. It's good to kind of hold off until Venus is probably in a stronger sign. And the next sign she'll go into on February 20th is Aries. So that might be a little bit better. But enjoy that loving, creative, fantasy-like, you know, feeling with Venus and Pisces, and project that unconditional love out to all the world. On Friday the 27th, we've got Mercury, who is still in Capricorn from his retrograde movement. He's still got a little ways to go in Capricorn. He's probably around 12 degrees right now of Capricorn, because on Friday he's going to be making a challenging square to Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. And I think Chiron's around 12 degrees of Aries. So this may bring up old wounds within our mental body, our thoughts, our perceptions, maybe insecure in some way. The Capricorn energy on the shadow side can sometimes be overly cautious or feeling insecure. And since this is a challenging aspect that's bringing up old wounds from the past, this can be where we're doubting ourselves or doubting our own ideas, or again, maybe challenging communication with other people. There can be a potential opportunity to try to have some healing communication with others, but it might be a little bit difficult in the beginning, or a little bit challenging to talk about. And then on Sunday, the 29th, we end the week with two positive aspects. One of those is the sun in Aquarius, shining its light in that humanitarian sign, and it's in a positive trine aspect to Mars, the warrior, planet of energy, action, and forward movement, who just recently went back to direct motion in the sign of Gemini, which is an air sign just like Aquarius. So this is great for networking and communication and sending out those emails and texting people and having phone calls or Zoom calls with other people. There can be a lot accomplished in collaborative efforts right now. Speaking, teaching, writing, anything that does have to do with communication is going to be highlighted. And on the same day, another positive aspect between Mercury and Capricorn, this time in a positive aspect with Uranus, who again just went direct last Sunday, so a week from this point of contact with Mercury. And so it's still in a very slow, almost non-movement place, which is magnifying Uranus's energies right now. Sudden, unexpected, unusual, freedom-oriented, liberation, redirection, all of these things are magnified and highlighted. With the connection to Mercury, it can bring surprise communication, somebody out of the blue that contacts you, that maybe you were waiting for that communication. Maybe it's just somebody that was a total surprise that you don't even know, but that leads to something very positive and very good. Mercury rules our ego mind, our lower mind as we call it. Uranus rules the God mind. And so when they're in a positive aspect like this together, this is like opening up the crown chakra, letting divine guidance and wisdom kind of flow through. This is great for channeling, especially great for channeling because both Mercury and Uranus are in earth signs, which helps to ground us while we're still open to this influx of higher messages that's coming in from higher sources, higher dimensions, or our own higher self even. A lot of these can be ideas about our goals, our ambitions, our career path, life path, destiny path, maybe about money, the steps we need to take to move forward, new ideas. And again, maybe collaboration with other people. There's going to be a lot of focus now with the Aquarius energy and with Uranus that rules Aquarius on collaborative efforts, connecting with people of like mind, either to learn from one another, to support one another, to create new ideas for the betterment of the collective or humanity with one another. So this is a great time. Let's take a look at the messages from our angels and guides from the Light Seers Tarot. The first card here, the first card is the Knight of Cups. Wow. Isn't that, look at that. Guy with the flowers in his hand, the bouquet of flowers. So the Knight of Cups, I mean, that's a very romantic kind of placement here. And just like with Venus moving into Pisces, if it signifies another person, it could actually signify gifts, presents, blessings, affection, admiration, messages of love from this other person. Now, whether it's a man or whether it, again, it is a friend, a family member, someone that you're close to, doesn't need to be masculine in energy, even though the Knight is that masculine placement. The Knight is, if you think about the traditional tarot, it's probably showing a knight galloping forward on his horse. But again, this is a romantic knight. This is an artistic and creative knight. This is one who's loving and compassionate and very much into his feelings and emotions, and not scared to share those feelings and emotions with others. Now, it's possible that you're just supposed to infuse, I guess, those energies of the Knight of Cups within yourself, or bring those Knight of Cups energies from within and out. So this again is that fantasy, romantic, creative, artistic, loving, nurturing sort of energy from a more of a divine masculine sort of perspective. So again, bring those qualities out of yourself. Maybe you're working on an artistic project. Maybe you're collaborating with somebody on something creative. Okay, and again, if this is about relationship, you might have somebody new popping into your life, or an old relationship being renewed, and you're reconnecting on a deeper emotional level with the other person. It'd be great to go out for like a date night. Again, maybe this is a good friend of the same sex. You know, in other words, let's say it's a woman, and this Knight of Cups is talking about a best friend, or someone that she's newly met that is going to become say a girlfriend, in other words. This is just being emotionally open and vulnerable with one another, you know, sharing your feelings, someone that you can really share your deep down true feelings with. Okay, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can just be about, again, this nurturing of a really good and close friendship. So this has many possibilities, and I love that. I'm trying to see what's in the background. His horse is in the background. It's interesting that his horse is back here in sort of a trotting sort of mode, or ready to move forward, but the knight is sitting up here in a chair, getting ready to bequeath somebody with this gift of flowers. So he's not quite moving yet. You know, he's got to get on his horse here in order to move forward. So there might be a little delay of some sort, with some sort of message or moving into that energy in some way. But that horse is ready. So the knight, and if you're the knight, then you should get ready too. All right. Oh, there's even like a little love letter here. Nice little red blanket, you know, red symbolizing passion and vitality. I don't know if that's like a bowl, like maybe a little picnic, but I can see like there's this little like love letter there. So you might be receiving some correspondence, text, phone call, email, Zoom session, you know, that's with somebody in this genre of energy. So let's take a look at the next card here, the next message. Okay, so this one shifts the energy a little bit, and I can see where this might relate to the Mercury, planet of the mind, in that challenging aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer, because this is the 5 of Swords. Now, the number 5 can be confusion energy, chaotic energy, overwhelm energy, too many things going on. The Suit of Swords is, of course, the mind, our thoughts, our perceptions. And you can see just by looking at this individual, you know, he's got the birds here, which are always messengers, right? One in particular, one of those crows is right there, right next to his head, kind of whispering in his ear, giving him some sort of message. Maybe it's overwhelming him, maybe it's confusing him, or maybe it's providing the clarity that he's seeking with all of the other kind of ungrounded, unfocused energies that are going on within the mind. You can see again that he's like, oh my gosh, you know, like there's too many things to think about, too many things to do. Or maybe he's struggling to make a decision and he's not sure because the energies just aren't clear to him. Now that Mercury square Chiron, again, could be feeling negative about oneself, feeling insecure about oneself. This could be feeling fearful, anxiety, maybe even some depression. Now it's interesting, whoops, I almost dropped the card. It's interesting that I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, but there's like this little person back here, and I don't even know what that person is standing on. It's not water, because this is the Five of Swords, which is air. It's the element of air. It almost looks like this person is standing on a icicle mound or something, like these icicles or something are jutting up from the ground. But this person back here, whoever that is, maybe it's signifying your higher soul self, or maybe it's someone that's going to come to like your rescue and bring clarity and you know, bring in more positive way of looking at something. But they're kind of in this mode of, you know, everything's okay, and excitement and positivity and, you know, just rejoicing in whatever's happening. So it's a very interesting image going on here. And I want to say that that can be somebody, again, that's coming in maybe to provide some relief or assistance in some way, to give you a message that is going to help you to shift your mind into a more positive direction. Okay, so don't get caught up in the mind. Don't get caught up on that hamster wheel. That would be kind of the ending of what this is about. Now, the last card came out as 2 cards. So the first of those last 2 cards is the 8 of Pentacles. And the number 8 and the number 8 numerologically speaking, or in numerology, which is what I wanted to say, this is a number that, from a spiritual perspective, to me, deals with empowerment and the balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine. Because if you take the number 8 and you put it on its side, it's the infinity symbol. So it's ever flowing, ebb and flow, masculine, feminine, which is about take action, surrender, listen, move forward, go with the flow. You know, it's kind of that back and forth movement. The number 8 on a more physical 3D level is about career, job, money, finances, authority or authority figures, leadership, taking charge. The Pentacles is a grounded energy. It's about the material world. So again, career, life path, money, finance, right? That the traditional 8 of Pentacles, though, is usually about apprenticeship or working towards something, you know, staying on course and working towards something, and practicing something or getting better at something. We've got kind of 8 pentacles up here above this woman's head, but doesn't that look like a moon cycle? Sure does, right? Looks like it might be like one full moon cycle of you focusing and practicing and getting things done, completing tasks, you know, taking charge of your life and bettering yourself in some way. Now, it's interesting that she's sitting instead of walking or doing. Now, she's got all these things in front of her, like here's all the things that she needs to focus on. And right now she's kind of just sitting back and kind of weighing her options, or sitting back and maybe organizing in reality, or organizing on some mental level what she's going to work on first. Know that you've got time. This is, again, like a moon cycle here. You've got time. And I feel like, you know, this is something I just heard getting better with age. Like whatever it is you're working on, project, or if you're working towards something, or maybe you're even trying to develop, you know, business partnership with somebody. This would be great for business partnership. Whatever it is, it's going to be better with age. In other words, the longer you spend within the next month or so, at least, the better something is going to be, the more manifested it's going to become, the more solid and grounded it will be, okay? All right, let's take a look at what card came out with this. All right, and this is, another swords, and this is the King of Swords, okay? So the king is the leader. The king is in charge. The king is on top, right? He knows what to do. He makes the decisions. He's confident in them. The suit of swords, of course, is that suit of the minds. It's interesting. There's a crow, an owl, and maybe even an eagle or a hawk back here. So there's lots of messages, lots of messengers. So look for information. Look for messages, phone calls, emails, etc., from more than one source, because we've got the crow, we've got, again, whether it's a hawk or an eagle, and we've got the owl down here. This king is using wisdom, self-reflection, and inner wisdom. He's using communication skills, and I want to call it magical communication skills. I always think of the crow as kind of magic and magical. And then the hawk or the eagle here is using his skill of looking at something from a higher vantage point, a higher perspective, a higher spiritual perspective. So he's got it all going on, like he's all in his mind in a very good way. And to couple it with this, again, if you're focusing or working on something, or you're needing to organize your plans, or, decide where you're going to put your time and attention, this King of Swords is supporting that. It's also supporting, again, that other communications, information, or messages may be on the way. Again, collaboration with others, networking with others can help you in whatever it is that you're working on, or in whatever way you are trying to empower yourself here with what it is that you're working on in the 3D world. Okay? And if I just heard money too. So the number 8, again, money and finances. This guy, this King of Swords, he's got a really good solid plan or idea of what he can do to bring in that financial stability, that money. And I think it has maybe something to do with picking like the right project here. Like, where do I want to put my time and attention, first? What's going to bring me both a sense of empowerment, but also a sense of financial security. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the special message depending on your card of choice from the Spellcasting Oracle deck. All right, so let's just give this a little shuffle. I was just going to hum there, but I'm sure you don't want to hear me humming. Okay. Spellcasting Oracle deck. Whoops, bumped the table. The Fire Quartz people. Special message for Fire Quartz. Oh, this one's sticking right up, isn't it? Trust. Okay. Trust your ideas. Trust your perceptions. Trust your intuition. Trust the path that the universe is leading you down. We just came out of a lot of retrograde planets in January. Now things are going to start to become clearer, and we're going to be able to have better movement. So when all of that starts to happen, trust the perception, trust the messages, trust the movement, trust being able to move from one realm into another. Trust that you're going to be guided. I just feel like this is like this guiding light that's guiding her to the next step. So this is all about trust. And that's a great keyword for Pisces as well. Venus moving into Pisces. Trust, faith, okay? Everything's going to work out when it needs to. The information is going to come to you when it needs to. The movement is going to come when it needs to. So just trust. Trust that you're moving in the right direction, all right? The message for the Shiva Lingam people. Shiva Lingam people, special message. Okay, this one's calling my attention. Ooh, I love freedom. Freedom. Okay, freedom. Uranus just turned direct. We're in Aquarius right now. That's all about freedom and liberation. And isn't that interesting that she's kind of in this bird cage, right? This woman is in a bird cage. I don't see that the door is necessarily open. It's hard to see even where the door might be. But this is, you don't need to stay in your protected kind of cage. You don't need to stay in this bubble, basically, okay? Maybe you want to stay in the bubble because it feels safe, but this is saying it's time to break free. It's time to experience new possibilities, new opportunities, new people. It's time to just let loose and see what else is out there. So again, maybe some of you are feeling more safe and secure where you're at, but you need to move out of there. Some of you are feeling a little trapped, not because you want to be. And this is saying that, I feel like it's saying to focus on and reflect on, meditate on the idea of freedom, liberation, and what that means to you, and see yourself being set free. Maybe it's easiest to even see yourself in something like this bird cage, because in our own visualization, we can actually easily open the door to that bird cage, and we can then step out and free ourselves. So if you are in a situation, a circumstance, a relationship, or even a mindset or belief system where you're feeling trapped in some way, limited, held back, just focus on that idea of freedom and meditate on the energy of freedom and do that visualization of letting yourself out of the bird cage. And I feel like the universe is going to give you the idea, the message, the movement, the support from maybe others, or just support from the universe to be able to move forward more freely. So whether it's self-imposed or not self-imposed, the energy of freedom is coming in for you right now. All right. And then for those of you that chose the Vesuvianite people, special message for the Vesuvianite people. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes again because nothing was jumping out at me at that moment. And now this one actually did. Ooh, travel. I pulled a card for myself after I blessed this deck and infused it with intentions. And I thought, well, actually, just before I started the video, I said, what's my special message? And I pulled this exact card. So the Vesuvianite people, travel. Okay. Now, it could mean literal travel. You're going somewhere. Maybe you're moving somewhere, moving to a new location. But travel can be so much more. It can be movement in your business. It can be movement in your mind, like astral traveling or just visualizing and seeing. Aquarius is great for future-oriented visualization, moving into our hopes, dreams, and wishes for the future, traveling into these other dimensions. That might be part of this travel too. Maybe you're traveling to a different time, a different place within your mind. Maybe you're traveling into a past or future lifetime, which is very Aquarian as well. And you can see that, it's interesting. This woman almost looks pregnant, doesn't she? She's got a little bump here in her belly. So maybe you're pregnant with a new idea, or you're in the beginnings of a new project or opportunity. I feel like this is going to bring you much blessings, but you have to move with it. You have to travel with it. You have to allow that movement in order to allow this to gestate and grow, whatever this baby bump represents, right? Some new initiating energy of creation here. We've also got kind of like a crescent moon here. So let's see, we had the new moon last week. So the moon is now growing. It would be about this week. That would be about a crescent moon. So I'm going to call this a waxing moon here. This moon is getting larger and larger and larger. It's interesting, there's a little star here right on the edge of the outline of the moon. So I want to say by the full moon, which is next week sometime, it's either next Saturday or Sunday, maybe the Monday after, but I think the full moon in Leo is going to be coming up next week. So I feel like by another week and a half time, this moon is going to be full. It's going to kind of touch out onto that star. And the star card is all about blessings, your hopes and dreams and futures again, which again goes so well with this travel and movement and allowing something to grow. Right now, I feel like she's just visualizing whatever it is, right? She's contemplating and visualizing and thinking about and dreaming about where she's going to go next, where her travels are going to take her. But also know that this can be actually about moving or some sort of short or long distance travel or astral traveling in your mind, just visualizing, using that law of attraction is also all part of this. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the weekly Empowered Moments video. Thank you for your love and support, all of your comments. And pretty soon we're going to be doing a monthly Empowered Moments video for the month of February. If you haven't already watched January's, be sure to go back and watch that, or maybe you want to refresh your memory on what January was all about. So you can go onto my YouTube channel and watch that as well. So until next week and or next month, sending you all lots of love and light and many, many blessings.